Good morning. Sunday, January 10, for prophecy. I pray in Israel because I see protests. I pray in Joseph.
For the first time in decades, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, Palestinians both in the occupied territories and those living in Israel are taking part in protests and a general strike. They are calling it a day of rage. This was Bethlehem in the occupied West Bank just a short time ago, where there have been confrontations between Israeli security forces and Palestinian protesters. Israeli security forces are using live ammunition there. At least 12 Palestinians have been injured. We are also hearing reports of Israeli snipers in the area. Similar scenes near Ramallah as well, where there have been armed confrontations between some protesters and Israeli security forces. Those are still ongoing, though they have calmed down a little bit. There have also been tense scenes in Nablus in the occupied West Bank, where demonstrators have been facing off with Israeli security forces. One Palestinian protester was killed and more than 160 others injured during demonstrations across the West Bank. 2 Israeli soldiers have also been wounded. And earlier, this was a scene near Damascus Gate in the occupied East Jerusalem. Protesters there heeded calls for demonstrations, but were met with an Israeli crackdown. A photojournalist was targeted, and many protesters were beaten. Let's go first to Al Jazeera correspondent Nida Ibrahim. She was reporting live to us near Ramallah when those shots were fired. She was talking to my colleague Hala Mahidin.
To talk more about what brings these protesters here, we're joined now by a Palestinian who was at the protest, Layali Hamayel. You have been living here, you were born and raised under occupation. What makes you think that protests...
Nida,
we're seeing crowds are leaving. We're not sure what's going on. There are people, Palestinians, who are standing.
Okay, Nida, can you get down and get to a place of safety, please?
Yes, we are ducking now because it seems like there are bullets.
Okay, Nida, we're gonna let you get to a place of safety because it sounds rather dangerous where you're reporting from. Nida Ibrahim, we're going to check in with you and come back to you later on.
Let's go to Nida Ibrahim. She's live for us now. Nida, that was very dramatic, that footage there taking place live on air. Talk us through exactly what happened, and were any people injured as a result of it?
We were here reporting from a hill overlooking the confrontations here near the illegal Israeli settlement of Bet El. When we heard gunshots and people leaving, we believe that those were Palestinian militants shooting towards the Israeli army that is near the illegal settlement of Bet El that has been already fighting.